Hey y'all, and welcome to the Anchored Nation team call. I'm just going to jump straight in and get you some content here. I'm going to try to keep this call literally to like 15, 20 minutes. I don't want to be long at all, but I just want to cover what I do for inviting and kind of to take away a little bit of the fear, especially for new coaches. A lot of times inviting is like the scariest new behavior because you're so afraid people are going to judge you or they're going to think you're crazy or salesy or trying to sell them something that they don't need. And so I want to just kind of ease your mind on that and show you what I do. That really makes it much more painless and effortless. And so I don't feel gross when I'm inviting people. And so it makes me, feel better about it and get through it and make sure so I don't put it off too long. So before we dive into that, I'm going to screen share real quick over to the team page. Jenny, can you see my screen? Yeah, okay. I just posted, I know I'm a couple days late, but I just posted a calendar for the month and I just wanted to review that real quick. We added a couple really cool things this month. I wanted to give you guys more opportunities to invite to. And even honestly myself, last month, it was a really tough month for Success Club. I know for a lot of people on the team, it was really hard for me to hit Success Club. And so I know that this month is probably going to be the same just because it's summer and it's really hard to get people to commit to something like this right now. So I wanted to give you guys some extra things to invite to. And for me, honestly, for me and my own business to be able to have some extra things to invite to as well. And if I can move this bar out of my way, there we go. So what do we have? We have today's Thursday the 7th. Okay. So first thing, we hosted last month what is a challenge group webinar. I've hosted tons of what is coaching webinars and what is coaching Facebook events, but I had never before done a what is coaching webinar or what is a challenge group webinar. And it was a huge success. We had over almost 200 now people view our webinar from that night, just in the day we did it, and then a couple days after. So that was huge. That's the most eyes we've ever gotten in any of our events like that before. So it was really effective. We sold a lot of challenge packs that night. A lot of people started in our upcoming or in our challenge group yesterday or earlier this week. And so it was really great because I was able to sign up a couple people, and I know a lot of other people on the team signed up coaches as well. So it was a really cool event. It was really simple. If you haven't watched that, I encourage you to watch it. It's on my YouTube channel. But we will be doing it again because it was super successful. We're going to do it on the 12th on Tuesday night. I think it's at 9 o'clock Eastern time, which is going to be fun and crazy for me over here, 7 p.m. Mountain time, but we're going to make it work. And it's going to be great. So we're going to be hosting that. And so that is what you can be inviting to this week. So when we're talking about inviting, I'm going to get to you and show you what I say to people, but that's what you can be inviting to this week, is just to get people there in front of this webinar. And what was really cool is we got to feature several other coaches. We featured Ginny, we featured Kaylin and Abby, and showed several other transformations as well. So I love the opportunity to be able to feature you guys so people can, your challengers can see your results as well and get motivated by you and inspired by you to join with you. And remember this, what is coaching challenge webinar is not, it's not for just me. That's not how we talk about it. But the whole time we were talking about it, we make sure we reiterate that sign up with the coach that invited you here. Like, we're all part of this together. So don't think that this is something that you have to recreate. Like, I'm hosting this and I want you to be able to invite people to it as well. So there's that. And then later we've got another challenge group. We're going to start on the 18th with all these people that are going to get started with us next week. So I'm going to host another challenge group starting on the 18th. So anybody that wants in on that will be able to jump into mine, or you can host your own. And then on the 21st, we're going to be hosting our typical What is a Coaching webinar. And that one will probably be a Facebook event instead of a webinar, to be honest, just because I have that content already ready to go and it's really easy. And I would love to be able to have anybody that wants to co-lead that with me. So that's what you can be inviting to for next week, to that What is Coaching webinar. And then we're going to have a new coach training group starting at the end of the month for any new coaches that are interested to join, or recurring coaches that haven't been through a training or haven't actually completed it yet. You're welcome to jump back in again. And then we're going to host, it's not actually on the calendar yet, but for the first week of August, we're going to host a free group. And last time we did one of these together as a team, it was awesome. We had probably I think over 300 people join us for that big crock pot group that we did a while back. And so this time we're going to do, I think it's going to be like a squat challenge, kind of like that bikini butt kind of idea. So I'm really excited about that. I'm still working through the content with that, with with Brandy, but you'll have that to invite to at the end of the month. So if you notice here, I gave you something to invite to. You can invite to this challenge group webinar. You can invite to the coaching webinar. You can invite to this free group. So you've got lots of different opportunities to invite people to over the next few weeks. And that's what I wanted you to do, because that's what so many people, like when we get started, they're like, well, what do I invite them to do with me? Like, my challenge group just started. What am I going to invite them to something that doesn't start for 3 weeks? So that's what I want to help you. Like, that's why we have all these events for you going on. So also, don't forget, our team calls are every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and that's what we're doing right now. And I'd love for as many people that can join it to be here. That we're trying out this time slot because I was having issues with evenings. If we're having too many problems and people can't come in the afternoon, maybe we can switch it back to evenings and make it work. But I need to know that. So tell me if you want to be on the team call and you're not here and you want it to be in the evenings or something, a better time, please let me know, because I want to accommodate that for you guys. And then our National Wake Up Call, that Beachbody hosts that every Monday. Don't forget, it's 11 a.m. Eastern. And it's just something, it's a conference call that you call into. You're completely muted. There's no need to be afraid. You're not like on a live Zoom call like when we do our team calls. It's completely anonymous. You just listen in, and they share promotions that happened, new announcements, and then there's some top coach or trainer that will come on and give you some training tip on how to make your business better. So I really hope you guys will tune into those. They're awesome every week. And so that's that. So next, I'm going to dive into, and I'm going to stop my share for a second. And can I do speaker view? Why? Hid my video. There we go. Okay, so before we dive into inviting and how to do it, I wanted to just reiterate why we're inviting, right? You have to remember why you got started. You have to go back to keep that in the forefront of your mind. Why do you want to invite somebody? Is it, is your motive to sell a challenge pack? Is your motive to make money? Is your motive to help somebody else? Is your motive to just spread, pay it forward? The fact that you just, you've gotten results and you know that this can help somebody that you care about and you want them to join you too. So you have to keep your motives in check. If you are trying to invite someone to join you and you're just trying to sell a challenge pack, they're going to see that. They're going to be able to feel that. That's when you come off salesy. That's when we can, seem desperate. That's when we maybe send a mass message to everybody in our, Facebook friends, and everybody blocks us, or we lose friends and stuff like that. Like, that's what we want to avoid, right? We've all gotten those invitations to join somebody's online party or somebody's fitness challenge or some other product from another direct sales company that made you feel gross, right? And you didn't even respond to it because you were just like, ew, she just totally copied and pasted this. This is gross, right? And so we want to avoid that at all costs, right? That's not like, I don't want to make anybody feel the way I feel when I read those messages from somebody that I've never talked to before, didn't even realize that we were Facebook friends. And all of a sudden now they just send me this invite that says, hey, you should come try out my product. Do you want to buy from me? Here's my link. That's what we want to avoid, because that's gross, right? And that's not what we're here for. We all became coaches because we wanted to help somebody, because we believe in the products that we have gotten results with, and we believe in the support system that we have. More importantly, and really that's where our results come from, right? We could work out with anything, but the fact that we have the support system together is really where the magic happens. And so we want to be able to share this community with others, right? And so that's just going to overflow that way when you talk about it that way. So I'm going to go in real quick and show you the scripts that I use, because I do use scripts, and I want you to understand that scripts are not a bad thing, right? It does not mean me using a script does not mean that I'm not genuine. It does not mean that I am being salesy or that I am being impersonal. It is a system that I use to help me be more efficient with my time, because I want to help as many people as possible. So I don't sit in front of somebody's Facebook page and spend 30 minutes trying to figure out what to say to them to invite them, right? I don't have time for that. I want a lot of people to help this month, right? And I know with it being harder this month, I've got to talk to more people than I did last month if I'm going to hit Success Club again this month. So that's what, so don't look at scripts. Don't be afraid of them. Don't think that you're being gross. And remember, these scripts that I'm going to show you, these are my words. This is something that I've honed. I've kept this. I'm going to show you my Evernote file that I just copy and paste from. But know that this is something that I've kind of grown with as I've written, some days, I'll give an example. I'll go and copy and paste it to somebody, and then I'll be like, ugh, I don't like the way that sounds, right? And I do feel salesy. So I'll change it, and then I'll go and I'll edit my script. So next time I don't sound that way. So I've kind of edited these along the way as I've built my business. And so I want you to be able to do the same. So some of them I started from, I might have gotten from another coach, and then I just tweaked it to make it sound like me. So remember, all of these messages are probably going to sound salesy to you because they're not your words. So make sure that I'm going to share the document too on our team page, so you can copy and paste them if you want. But I encourage you, do not just copy and paste. Make sure that you make this your own, right? And the one part that you're not going to see is that in these scripts, once I do copy and paste them into a message, I make sure I add an extra line or two or even three that is personal to that person. Because yes, this is the message that I want to get across, but I make sure to connect with them and to make sure that I'm being personable and I'm being genuine. And that's where you can see that they're not just a number to me. It's a person. I want to help another person to join our community. I want to invite somebody in. And so this is how I do it. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen again real quick and walk you through the different messages that I use. And one thing about them is that you'll see not all of them are invites to join something. One of the first things I start with, I'm going to open this big. Here we go. Can you see this, Ginny? Is this sharing right? Perfect. Okay. So one of the first things that I do when I notice, like, to start engaging with someone, right? We're always adding to our network, right? We should be adding at least 3 to 5 friends a day on our network. But when people start liking my page, this is when I start to get to work, right? This is when they like something on my page, whether it's a picture of my kids, whether it's a picture of me working out, whether it's a picture of my husband, whatever it is, they like something on my page. It means that they're enjoying following my journey, right? And they wanted me to see it. They physically clicked that button. They wanted me to know that they liked what they saw. So I want to acknowledge that, and I want to start a conversation, because this is a person that might be able to relate to me, that can probably does relate to my story, or maybe their mom, you know what I mean? Like, so they can relate to different pieces of your story. So they're already reaching out to you by clicking that like button. So I go through on a post on an everyday thing. I'll go in. Like this morning, I went into my posts from yesterday, and I opened a couple of them, and I found a couple people on there that I didn't recognize. And I sent out this first message that literally just says, "Hey girlie, thanks so much for liking my post. Please know that your support doesn't go unnoticed. You're so sweet," right? I send something like that, and then I'll, say, "Oh my gosh, your dog is adorable." Or I'll add in something, and I keep this really simple and just to the point. I don't make it, this isn't an invitation to anything. I'm not trying to be salesy. I'm just trying to start a conversation and make sure they know, hey, I saw you. Thanks. So that's that. So once I'll send them that, right? Maybe a few months later, if we've connected a little bit and they're still following me, but it doesn't feel right to send them an invitation yet, I'll say, hey girl, thanks for continuing to following my journey. Your likes mean a lot. I'll send something like this, right? If I feel like I'm ready, if we've had other conversations, and let me tell you, like this was just a conversation started, right? That's what this is. I want them to respond, but I didn't ask a question because I wasn't trying to come off salesy. Some people won't ever respond to this. Some people will, it'll show me that they've seen it and nothing will ever happen. But the people that respond and say, "Oh my gosh, thanks for noticing. Oh, I love following you." And then we start a conversation. "Hey, are you into health and fitness?" Like, "Oh, hey, we've got 2 kids. Do you have 2 kids? Cool." So it kind of gives you a platform to start a conversation. So there's a lot of conversation here after this. This is not just this message and then this one and then this one, right? So we're building a relationship here. And then next, if I feel that, okay, this person's ready to hear an invitation, like they know what I'm about. They know that I'm into fitness. They know that I'm a coach now, and they are ready to be invited. I'll send them, I'll skip the second one here, and I'll just say, or maybe I'll even skip the first one and just say, "Hey girl, just wanted to say thanks for following my journey. Your likes mean a lot, and I'm hosting a group. Do you want some more information?" Right? I keep my invitations really, really short, really simple. I do not word vomit, right? I keep it really simple and make it just a question. I try to make, and I tweak this one. This is my invitation one like this. I tweak this constantly because I'm always trying to make it sound more casual, more like me, and not like somebody else, and not salesy, and not just copy and paste it, right? So there's that. So next, if you have a like page, the way that Facebook is going right now, they just changed this whole algorithm thing. I'm going to post to a team page some information about it because it's been crazy. But like pages, don't even waste your time right now. It is not helping grow my business at all. But I do have a like page. So when I get new people that like it, I send them something like this as well so we can connect, and maybe they'll send me a friend request so we can connect on Facebook. I've got here another message. Somebody that I haven't talked to in a long time, right? Instead of just sending a random, like trying to connect with them, "Hey girl, how you been? I just wanted to drop by and see how you're doing. It's been a long time. I love following your family and adventures. You're a good poster. Happy Sunday, darling. Like something super simple, right? I didn't even ask a question again here. Oh, I did. I said, how you doing? But I kept it really simple and just trying to reconnect with an old friend, right? Birthdays. This is something that I really, I have been doing for a long time now. And with the new algorithm change, now I have learned that it doesn't mean anything. It does not help. I thought for a while it was helping your engagement with that person, and it's not the case anymore. The best way now to gain engagement, and actually when I was first using Facebook, this is actually new information for you guys too. When you are liking other people's posts, it does not make it more likely that they will see yours. It used to be the case, but now that is not the case anymore. And now the best way to get more traction on your posts and to get more eyes on them is to get more likes and comments on your stuff. So a way to do that is if I post something about a silly picture, Arrington doing something silly, right? I can, after I post it, I can comment below and tag, hey, Ginny, did you, does Banks ever do this too? And I can tag somebody like that and it will start a conversation. And then if Ginny responds, then it's going to increase our engagement, if that makes sense. Then because she responded to me and she commented on that post or she liked that post, then Facebook's going to say, okay, she wants to see more. So we have to get them to engage on our stuff. So asking questions and then respond when people comment, responding. Maybe not like a to-do list and not like responding every single time to like, oh, thanks. That's not the idea. But throughout the next, maybe 24 hours, responding to different people. Not every comment maybe, but a couple of them, strategic ones that you want to see your stuff, right? Like tagging me in your post is not going to help your engagement, right? But tagging somebody that you are maybe one of your new challengers, it might get their eyes on it and maybe their friends' eyes on it. So those kind of things, you'll notice those kind of things are better for that. So that was kind of a detour, but okay. Next, anniversary messages. These are great for engagement and really help you. You can do this by searching at the search bar in the top of your Facebook. Actually, I can show you that. If you just go to the search bar on your Facebook and in quotes, write anniversary, and if you spell it right, in quotes, it'll show you anybody that's posted about an anniversary. I saw this one earlier. I don't think this is a wedding anniversary. But this one here, my friend's happy second anniversary, right? So this was actually posted yesterday, but I went ahead and messaged her this morning and said, hey girl, I missed it yesterday, but I hope you guys had a great time celebrating. Congrats and happy anniversary, right? So you can connect that way and it pulls them back in more so than a birthday post, because remember how many posts and engagements you get on your birthday, right? And do you respond to all of them? Maybe you do. Maybe you're awesome. Most people don't. And if people that I have been sending a lot of birthday messages, and some people send a really sweet, thoughtful response, but most of the time it's just thanks or a smiley face or nothing at all. So an anniversary post, not many people are messaging them on that day. So that's a better way to get more engagement that way. So, and these are all ways to just start conversations, right? Because conversations are what lead to invitations, right? So this keeps you from having cold conversations and cold invites. When you're ready to send somebody an invitation, just send it, right? When you have had a conversation, don't be afraid. You've built a relationship. They know what you do, right? They know that it's coming, so just ask, right? The worst they're going to say is no. And then you say, okay, great. No problem. I've got oops, somebody's trying to FaceTime me. Just kidding. Sorry. Okay. So, there's my challenge group invite. Hey, how are you, babe? I hope you don't mind me messaging you about this, but I'm super passionate about this stuff, so I had to ask. I'm running an online fitness boot camp in a few weeks to really help people stick with their fitness and health goals for the year. I already have a bunch of women joining me. I want it to be huge. If I gave you some details, would you check it out? Like, keep it simple, right? I think I have the same thing, just written a little bit different. So I'll just grab one of these and tweak it. Like I said, remember, I copy and paste this part, and then I'll add in another sentence or two to make it personal to them. Like why I think they'd be a good fit. Like, hey girl, I saw your post about being frustrated you didn't fit in last year's jeans. I've got a new fitness group. Do you want some information? I try to make it relevant to stuff that they're posting about. And then, okay, so we all get this, right? You send an invitation and it gets completely ignored, right? Especially when you see the scene right after you sent it, like they read it and they're completely ignored it. So 2 days later, typically, I will send out this message here that says, hey girl, I know life gets busy, but I didn't know if you got my last message. I just wanted to follow up to see if there was something you wanted to jump in on. It's okay if you're not, but we had great success and so much positivity come out of our last group. So I just wanted to make sure I didn't leave anybody out, right? That's super simple. I don't even think I asked a question here. It's just a statement. Giving her a second chance. And usually I get a response from this, like, oh, hey, I'm so sorry. They usually apologize to me and say, oh, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot. Yes, send me information, or no, this isn't a good time. Right. But I at least get a response from them. And they know when I send this message, a lot of times they know it makes them feel more personalized, that wasn't a mass text message that I just sent out, that I did remember that I invited them, and I don't want to leave them out. So that kind of helps that way. So I get a lot of, follow-ups from that invitation, right? And then if they've completely ignored my last message, whether it was whether we're walking through what the challenge pack process was, like that they were trying to sign up and they just like stopped responding, or I think that's typically what I use this for. It just says, hey babe, never heard back from you. That's totally fine if you're not interested. I just didn't want to leave you hanging if you're not, right? And again, a lot of people come back apologizing, like, oh my God, I read your message and I was out and about and I completely forgot to respond. And so again, I restart the conversation that way. And then again, like reinvite, right? For me, every time I get a no, and it's just all that means to me is not right now. They're not ready, right? And I have to go back to me. Like I wasn't ready for years, right? I had a gym membership. I would go twice and then I would go tanning. Like I would not actually use the gym, right? I didn't get results. I would try a diet out for a week and then I would give up. I wasn't ready to do this until, for me, when I had that moment, right? When I decided, and I was pregnant and I said, it's time for me to make some changes. I had to make that decision. And when I made the decision, it was easy and I was ready and I signed up within minutes. I just said, okay, what do I do? Okay. So some people aren't really ready and that's not my fault. I can't make them ready. I don't want to push somebody to buy a product when they're not ready to buy it. So I understand a no is a no for right now. But I don't leave them at no, right? I will follow up with them maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months later and say something like this, like, hey girl, I remember I invited you to one of my challenges and the timing wasn't good for you. But again, this is the same text message before, but we had such great results and positivity come back from our last group that I didn't want to leave you out. I'm running another group. Do you want information now? Right? I just reinvited her, made sure that she knew that I didn't forget about her, right? Same thing here. If they didn't respond to me at all, just wanted to check back in. Did you ever find, like, this is for somebody that like actually said no to me, that they weren't interested because they already had something in place maybe, or they just weren't interested in working out at the time. I'll say something, did you ever find a health and fitness routine that worked for you? Or how is your fitness routine is it still working? Are you still getting results from what you were doing? A lot of people will tell you, oh, I've already got a great gym routine or whatever. And so I usually send that, like, how have you gotten results? Like, have you lost any weight? Like I try to check in on them, and just make sure I want them to be healthy. Right. And if they're not doing what I'm doing, that's great. That's fine. Not everybody has to be doing my products. If they can do it on their own without accountability, that's huge. That's awesome for them. But I want to check in on them. Again, it just shows you relationships, because that's what we're doing here. We're building relationships. We're showing that we care about people. These are people, not Success Club numbers, not just 2 points on a board, but these are people that we're trying to help and bring into our community. And so all of these scripts that I'm sharing with you are all here to help you cultivate and build relationships, right? To give you something to continue a conversation with someone. And that's my goal here. And then the last one here is for a free group. And this is typically what I usually send these kind of things. Obviously when we have one on the books that's coming up, but for when somebody says no and gives me a price objection, I'm like, oh man, you can't afford that right now. Okay. I understand totally. It's not always in the budget, but I do have something to offer you. I've got a free group coming up. Right. And so I'll say something like that with this message here. Hey girl, how you been? I wanted to check in real quick, to invite you to a 7-day clean eating group that we're hosting. And this time it'll be a squat challenge. I'm really excited for that, by the way. And if you're still on the lookout to jumpstart your health and fitness, this could be the perfect fit for you. Would you like to join us? Right? Super simple invitation, right? And like I said, I've tried to keep my invitations. Some of them are really similar. Some of them are different, but it's just a matter of keeping things simple and like you, because that's the whole point here. You're trying to build relationships and we're trying to help people. So just don't get caught up in the sales aspect of it, but you're trying to sell somebody a product, because that's not the idea. And that's not, if your motives are right, they're going to see that. They're going to feel that in the way that you're coming across. So you don't need to stress about it. And I just want to challenge you to get past that fear and give you confidence in that the more that you do it, the easier it gets. And I can speak for myself. Inviting has honestly been one of the hardest things for me. As I've built my business and I've remained consistent with my business now for almost 2 years, I do have people that reach out to me and come to me and want to sign up. And that's great, but you can't rely on that. Like I can't rely on that. And I know like it's not consistent. The people that you never know when that's going to happen. And so I have struggled myself though in being consistent with inviting every single day. But I will tell you when I do it, even if I make myself a bare minimum now to do 3, right? On good days, I try to get up to like 20 invites sent out. But if I can get at least 3 out in a day, I can, it keeps me fresh and helps me to not feel like my scripts are stale, right? Because I'm constantly evolving them and constantly working through them. So I just want to encourage you guys to commit to that. Like I said, we just gave you this new, what is a challenge group webinar that we're going to do. I don't know yet what the giveaway is this time. Last time we gave away $100 Lululemon gift card and a 3-day refresh, which is like $179 value between the two of those. So we gave away a lot. So I'm not sure yet what we're going to give away for this next group, but I'm sure it's going to be awesome. And, but I want you to have confidence to be able to invite and just start to do it. Just do it. Don't feel salesy. Don't feel gross. Just do it. And you'll feel better and you'll feel relieved and it gets easier. And don't focus. My last thing for you is don't focus on what their response is. Don't send it and then be like, what are they going to say? Move on to the next person, right? Because if it's not your responsibility, how they respond. If they're not ready for you, that's on them. That is not on you. It has nothing to do with you as a person, you as a coach. It is not on you. Your job is to help as many people as you can. And so you just keep sending those invitations out, and the right person, God is going to bring the right person to meet you in that right moment. And so as long as you are putting yourself out there, you're going to move forward. But if you are not using these techniques, if you're not actively inviting people to join you, you will not have a growing business. I can attest for it. My business gets completely stale on the months like I've gone before where I'm like, I get lost in everything else and I get sidetracked and I get, I let fear build up in myself too, and I don't send invites out. I can see it in my business and I can see it in my paycheck, right? My income starts to go down, and it's not what I want, right? I've got big goals. I've got bills to pay too, just like everybody else. And so I want to keep my business growing. And so inviting is going to be what's going to get us there, each of us. So I want to challenge you, if you're not actively inviting people, if you're just waiting for people to come to you, it's not going to, that's a hobby. That's something you're doing for fun. If you're posting just on Facebook to say, hey, do you want to join my next challenge group? That's great. But that is not where I sign people up. People respond to private messages, not those kind of posts. So it's important to do them so people know that you have that to offer, but don't count on doing that post once a week or every other week and counting on that's how you're going to hit Success Club. Make sure that you are sending out these messages like this. This is what I'm doing behind the scenes, right? People think that I just post on Facebook, but that's not it at all. That's just the icing on the cake, right? It's what you're doing behind the scenes that's really going to build your business and move it forward with inviting. So that is all I've got. I am going to stop recording. Thank you so much for checking out this recording and for joining us live. And I'm going to open it up for questions. So thanks, guys. Happy inviting. And if you have questions, please post them in the team page. Let me know how I can help. I'm going to share this document in the team page for you guys to copy and paste and make your own. Don't steal my words. Okay. I love you guys. Okay, bye.